Welcome to another video. I walk with Phil, and what I want to do is to take you to an estate today that back in the 90s had a reputation for lots of crime and decline. Have things changed? Well, let's take a look, shall we? Just have a walk along Sussex Avenue, and I haven't been to Hateley Heath, walking around Hateley Heath for quite some time. Probably the last time I walked around here was back in the 80s, yeah. And my memories of this place did always look as though it was slowly moving in the direction of decline. There was reports in newspapers weekly of crime happening in this area. So what I want to do is have a look around and see what's changed around these parts. Also, I remember down here somewhere there used to be the Hateley Heath Working Men's Club. I know that was knocked down back in 2009. Well, what I want to do is try and find the location of where that was. What do you remember of Hateley Heath? Have you got any memories of this estate? Back in the 90s there was a lot of crime, as I said. There was joyriding, burglaries, vandalism, and many of the shops around these parts were closed down because the shopkeepers were fed up of the thefts taking place from their shops. There's always reports of car thefts, break-ins, and of course social deprivation was blamed for the decline of this area, this estate. High unemployment rate back in the 90s. There was 15,000 people who live on this estate, and back in the 90s there was an unemployment rate of around 15%. The national average at the time was 10%. So what's been done to arrest this decline? And I know there was a lot of low-rise flats. Yeah, there's a lot of there's Devon Crescent just up there. Yeah, there was a lot of low-rise flats around here, and a lot of the housing, the last time I came around here, was looking the worse for wear, even though the estate was built late 40s, early 50s. It was still looking neglected, and well, it was looking run down, you know. So what have they done? Well, it's a long time since I walked along here, so see what's changed. Not that I can remember much of Hateley Heath. Still walking along Sussex Avenue. Now here, just to my left, I do believe was the location of a very popular club called the Working Men's Club, and it was here that they decided to demolish it back in 2009. They flattened it, and as you can see, they built some fancy new housing, and this was the beginnings really of making Hateley Heath to look more improved, more updated, with more new housing. Who remembers the Working Men's Social Club? Yeah, still walking along Sussex Avenue. More new properties built on my left there. There's still some of this on my right. Low-rise low-rise housing, masonettes. I think that's what they called them back in the day. If I look at pan round to my right there at the top to the hill, this road is called Wiltshire Way. Yeah, Wiltshire Way. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have a little walk down Wiltshire Way. And as I look to, well, here to my left here, you can see some new builds, as I mentioned earlier. And to my right there, up Radnor Green, all the houses there, you can see right along Radnor Green, right up to the top of Wiltshire Way there. It all looks very much how I remember it when I came to these parts back in the 80s. I don't remember any recent housing being demolished. I'm sure it must have been to make the kind of improvements I'm seeing here on my left, where there's some more new housing here, and a lot of the properties do look smartened up a bit. To my right here we have Worcester Green, and I remember, of course, there was many green spaces, generally between the two rows of houses, one to the left and to the right, and in the middle was lots of green spaces. For in those days, 80s, 70s, it was ball games and dog walking, but still a busy through estate for traffic. I still have their bus services coming through the estate also. Now, what have successive councils done to arrest the decline of this area? Well, there have been a few projects of late to try to do something to make the area a bit more exciting, a little bit more, not so much run down, but to include areas where there's more green spaces, obviously better housing. These things do appear to be seen around this estate as I'm walking along. I can see something to my right which we'll have a look at in a bit, because here between Lindsay Road on my left and Kesteven Road there on my right, there's another huge green space, but this time it has been regenerated into a play area, a picnic area, and a keep fit area, so hopefully that's helped. Here on my left here we've got the Community Trust.co.uk, even a self-service laundrette right on the street. You don't see many of those, do you? Yeah, self-service laundrette. What I'm going to have a quick walk along here, where again they've created this green space which includes picnic areas, keep fit areas, areas for the kids. Looks rather nice actually. A little natty sign here saying what's it, Kesteven Green they call it. Yeah, Kesteven Green. Let's have a walk along here. Kesteven Green. A new pathway has been created. People walking their dogs. Picnic tables. All these I don't know to keep fit, but usually kids to run along. Yeah. Seating areas. They've put in seating areas for you to sit and admire the views, taking the fresh air. And little picnic tables here. More stuff for the kids to run along. It's quite long, this actually. And you can see that the grass area is all being mowed, kept short. There's some more equipment here on the left for kids to do there. Yep. Well, at least it's an improvement. It's an improvement. Now, to my left here, we've got the pub called the Coach and Horses. Coach and Horses, and of course this was the one I mentioned earlier, which the BBC decided to make a drama about two-tone and ska music, and they used this pub, the Coach and Horses, as a reproduction of the Happy Trooper in Chelmsley Wood in Birmingham. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any signs now of it being turned in, but here they put up a sign called the Happy Trooper sign on here. Just up there, they changed the signage there. And if you come around the corner, there's a shot you can find that features all the production crew standing around on this particular patch of the car park, and filming this part here, the Coach and Horses, and they put the sign, the Happy Trooper, on there as well. If you can find it, there you go. They put the signage there, the Happy Trooper, and they also did some internal shots of the pub itself as well. So yeah, there you go. A claim to fame for Hateley Heath and that production. This town is currently on the BBC iPlayer, and yeah, and I remember that pub. Oh yeah, I remember that pub being changed to a Wetherspoon once, called the Moon Underwater, and then they changed it back to its original name, the Coach and Horses. I'm standing here in Essex Avenue with the Coach and Horses pub there. Okay folks, so yeah, Hateley Heath, claim to fame, eh? And just ahead of me, and I have drove past this not so long ago, and I was shocked to see the change to this school ahead of me. It's a school called Phoenix Collegiate, and I know, of course, many of you will know if you know this area. And this was called the John Menzies School. John Menzies, yeah. And towering in front of us was something called A Block ahead of us. So it was a very prominent looking building. And but looking at it now, I mean, you couldn't believe the change. I'm not sure if those blocks in the distance, they're still part of the old John Menzies School. I know they demolished a lot of it, or did they demolish all of it? Let me know in the comments if you've got any memories of this school. Well, I understand there was 13 blocks, all teaching different subjects. So it's a fairly big school, but now it's called the Phoenix Collegiate, and its claim to fame, this school, was there was a film made in 1985 called Clockwise, featuring John Cleese. Yeah, John Cleese came to this school to film Clockwise. It was released in 1986, and the first 20 minutes of the film was featured around this school. There was interior shots and exterior shots, of course, and yeah, John Cleese was the headmaster in the film, and his job and the part of the film was the fact that he had to travel on that day from here to Norfolk to give a speech at a headmasters conference, and obviously results getting from here to there had a lot of hilarious consequences. Yeah, so this particular stretch of road here is called Clark's Lane, and up to the top it leads up to Heath Lane, and Heath Lane continues its way onto the Newton Road and takes you down to Great Bar area of West Bromwich. So we'll continue our short walk along here, and let's see what else we can find as we walk here. A quick look again to my left at the Kesteven Green, the project that they've made for the kids mainly, and for adults of course to sit and chat and have picnics there in the summer weather. Here's Lindsay Road here. Menzies Road. There are a few shops I believe here on the left. We'll have a look at those, see how frequented they are, how busy they look. Yeah, in Hateley Heath. Yeah, to my right there's this Allerton Lane, and that will take you all the way down to Wednesbury, near the town centre. Let's have a look at these shops, shall we? Yeah, that one Capri knows that's a pizza, the blue shuttered up shop there, which I don't know what that one is. There's another laundrette here called Wash and Dry, and that looks, there's one or two in there. We've got John's Booze and a convenience store there. There's an empty store there on the left, and there's some sweet shop and caterers, ethnic sweet shop and caterers there ahead of me on the corner. Yeah, so there you go. There's my short little walk of Hateley Heath for you. If it's brought memories, let us know in the comment section below, and we'll wrap this one up now. And if you like the video, hit the like button and hit subscribe and hit the notification bell for new videos, and I'll see you on the next one.